Hell no. Hell no. So this is one of the things that I'm gonna criticize Trump for. Hell no to 5G. Hell no. Yeah, I know it makes everything faster, but it's gonna give everybody like cancer like everywhere, like to tomorrow. Seriously? So I mean, I'm sad to say this is just either one of the areas where he just hasn't done his research, you know. And I think, you know, there's just so much going on, and I think he's done a lot of good things for the country, but he's damn ignorant, doesn't know what he's talking about with this. Now, there are other ways we can get faster internet. It doesn't have to be 5G, but you guys, if you guys are like pro 5G and we're like, yeah, it's going to be faster, it's going to be better, it's basically building a grid so it... 5G has it's so bad, you guys. It's so bad. Not to mention the radiation and the cancer and how it just unravels your DNA, like, you know, a house of flipping cards coming down. So it's that, but it also, like, you put different poles up around the city, it can be weaponized. It can be weaponized to use direct energy to blow things up. You basically, it's creating a prison for people. So to be in. I mean, what else? I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. I know about the radiation. I know that it could blow things up, and there was something else I was going to say about it. I can't remember. It's the 5G. It's erasing my memory. Okay, well, I'll go on to the next what I was going to say. But this is how the globalists get us to implement things into our... This is how I know that Trump's probably not a globalist, or he's not a globalist. I don't think he's a globalist. I think he's, you know, he likes power, he likes money, and I don't think he's a global... Well, this is how the globalists, though, get us to implement their technology into our society, right? They give us something. They give us something that we say, oh, it's amazing, it's good, more, better, faster technology, yet it's unraveling our DNA. You know, we're just placing weapons that can nuke us in our society. You know, same thing with nuclear energy. You know, and when Fukushima happened, I had no idea how bad nuclear energy was. And, you know, you're like, oh, but it can power all these cities and we have all these power, but it's terrible. It's really bad, you know? And I think that I don't know what they are. Well, I'm going to tangents. I think that there are better ways that we can power cities. I saw this really good, there's like an expose about the huge, if you guys seen the huge power mills. They're like windmills, but they're giant, right? And there have been so many people that have come out and said that they you know, they've gotten tumors. It creates, you know, it kills a lot of the environment. It's really bad. So I was talking to somebody that did a report on that, and they said, you know what the real answer to that is? I was like, no. I was like, you know, I saw that that little story that you did, and it blew my mind, because I was just like, oh, like wind power is good, right? Like it's good because we need to get away from nuclear power. We need to get away from, like, you know, all this other stuff in the environment that's killing the environment. It's killing us. It's not good. And then you do the expose on the wind power, and I was just kind of sad because I was like, well, dang, like, what do we do? Are we meant to just live with candles and like bonfires forever? Like, how are we gonna power our society? And she was like, no. She goes, really what the answer is for each individual household to have their own power source. And that works. Like she was like, you can do a smaller version of the windmill or something next to your house, and you can get the same amount of power. But the thing is, just the way, you know, corporations and everything is set up, they want to have control over everything. So people had their, you know, their own source, their control of their own power source, then yeah, everybody would be able to have their own, you know, abundance of energy, and, you know, it wouldn't mess up the environment or people's health. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. So I know a while ago we did a podcast, we interviewed these guys on the QEEG machine, And I don't know, it sounded great. I just haven't heard anything about it ever since. And I've heard that there's stuff on free energy that has been discovered, but it hasn't. It probably is. I'm willing to, but I just know, it's just me with all the research I've done in the pharmaceutical industry and how corrupt they are. Like, I know there's cures for cancers, AIDS. I know this stuff. I've known people that have been cured by this. I will never do conventional cures if I get diagnosed with any of those diseases, because I know that there are other ways. I know that sounds extreme, but the fact is, there's never going to be a press conference, you guys. There's never going to be somebody that comes out and says that we have the cures to all of these things. We're going to have to figure it out ourselves. And that's not hard, but the thing that's really frustrating now is people are starting to figure those things out, and they don't want us to. They want us to be dependent. You know, you guys think that it begins with, it's only politics, but it's just like how, people are on the Democratic plantation, and it's just, the Democrats want to keep you dependent. It's really both sides, you guys. The Democrats are just like the worst right now, but there's a whole structure that wants to keep humanity dependent. They don't want them to be, they don't want them to be the sovereign, like when it comes to their health. They don't want them to be sovereign when it comes to their own energy sources. So with that said, I don't think that there's ever going to be a huge corporate solution or somebody that's going to come and be like, hey, like, here's the free energy you need. It's going to have to be grassroots. It's going to have to come from another source, because there are people that are selling us, that are making this technology. They're not interested in that. So I think Trump is just like, he just wants to make America the biggest, the baddest, the fastest. He's like, yep, 5G, great. Bring it in. It's going to be fast. He probably doesn't know. Maybe he does. Maybe there are people that are just like, I know there's the people that's like, oh, he's playing 5G chess. And there's other people that's like, he's working with designers. I don't know. It could be both. But this shit, hell no. And the people that are like, see, I told you. Oh yeah, well, I mean, look at your side, dude. Like, look at the left side. Look at the leftists. They're driving this country into oblivion. Okay? So if I can just say, like, the whole 5G thing, that's like one of the worst things that I can say that he's done at the moment. Like, but at least I have, I have the humility. I can just be like, I think he's wrong. There are people that won't ever admit that their political side is wrong about something. They'll die before they do that, So they can have evidence in front of their eyes. There's still people that are defending Jussie for what he did. I saw this guy the other day. He was like, oh, well, he's just trying to, so what if he lied? He's just trying to bring attention to a bigger problem. I was like, if I could just reach through the screen and like slap that kid, I would have. He was like, not a kid. He was like, I don't know, like in college. I would have slapped his ass though, just for fun. Somebody needs to invent that. They need to invent something, or like somebody like says something and they get like a virtual slap, like a hand comes out the other side of the TV and it just goes like that. That would be so much fun. Like, somebody needs to do that for real. Maybe they can do it with the 5G technology. So I'm going to leave some links in the bottom so you guys can look at the 5G mess that it is and how bad it is for us. It's like, do you want faster internet or do you want to die of cancer? Like, it's either those two things, really. Do you want to be controlled? Do you want to be control grid? It's a control grid as well. It's multi-purpose, right? It's a system, it's a grid that's built to, they're going to use it to power cars, to power everything, but it's going to be, if you've ever seen like Minority Report, where they were able to control the cars, to control everything in the city, control lights, control everything. Like, you don't have control, you're just giving up your power. So, and it was creepy too. I know that I've seen footage of communities that didn't want 5G in their communities, and they just installed it. They voted not to have it in their communities because they knew how bad it was, and people just put it there anyway, But yeah. All right, guys. Let me know what you think. Peace, truth, and love. Talk to you later. Bye. Mwah.